Hello, hello, Jeanne Marie Paynel here with another weekly Q&A. And today I wanted to have a little bit of bathroom talk with you. This seems to be quite a hot topic for many families of little ones. So hello, everybody. Welcome. For those of you who don't know me, I am Jeanne Marie Paynel. I am the founder and owner of Voila Montessori, encouraging you to be the best parent you can be, and more importantly, to be the parent that you want to be. So today, without further ado, I just wanted to kind of jump right into this hot topic because when I posted about it, oh my gosh, I can see that this is something that preoccupies a lot of us parents of little ones. So, and then I will be sharing with you at the end also a handout that I've created that will really give you also a lot more of information and links to books that I recommend and everything. So be on the lookout of that. When I'm done, I will post it in the comments below. So thank you for all of those who are here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Let me know a little bit about you, where you're calling in from, where your children are in this toilet awareness and independence journey. How old are they? And then if you have any questions, post them below. I will get to your questions as soon as I'm done kind of sharing some of my tips. Hold on just one second. Let me get some water here. So yes, go ahead and post any questions that you might have below. I will be happy to answer them when I am done. So the purpose of this live today is really to talk to you about toilet independence and toilet awareness. You will notice that I did not use the word training. Potty training to me is very much about, bonjour Berenice, wow, hello, good to have you here. So just why I use toilet awareness and toilet independence as opposed to toilet training. Just like anything with our children, we are guiding them. We are really helping them along this road of independence, of being self-sufficient. And toilet independence is a huge milestone in being independent. I mean, imagine you are able to understand what your body needs and you are able to go to the bathroom, relieve yourself, and take care of yourself. That is a major piece of the puzzle to that independence. So children need our support, need our guidance. They don't need our training. They don't need us to have, a boot camp 3-day, I'm going to, get you going and such. It's more about, first of all, our awareness. And as I've talked a lot, those of you who follow me, I talk a lot about our need to observe our children, to understand their cues. And I promise you that when a child is ready to be shown the road to toilet independence, they will let you know. And oftentimes it is actually much sooner than we think. So how do we become aware of their needs? First of all, oftentimes I have families telling me, oh, my child is so difficult, won't let me, change their diapers, lying down on the changing table anymore, all the time. It's becoming really difficult. Well, there to me is already a signal that your child is wanting to be shown something different. So if they are fighting you, that this whole, being put on their back and kind of being, taken care of, that they're not happy with that, they're going to start fighting it. And there it's oftentimes the beginning of the road that you are going to show them for them to be self-sufficient and to be independent. So one point that I do want to make before we get too much into the details is that toileting, having our children go to the bathroom is similar to sleep and eating, feeding. So those are three things. The toilet, the food, and the sleep are three things that you and I cannot force a child to do. We cannot force them to go to sleep, we cannot force them to eat, and we cannot force them to go to the bathroom. So that's, so how do I do it? Right? If I can't, force it, how do I do it? Well, it is all about the environment that we are going to set up for them. So just like the sleeping environment, just like the eating area and such, the self-care area, the toilet area needs to be set up for the child to be successful. So what we can control is the fact that we set up an environment where they can learn to be aware of the different items needed. And so it's about setting up the environment. It is about the routine that we are going to create and be consistent with. And it is also our level of patience and our mindset around what it means to guide our child towards toilet independence. So those three things we do have control over: the environment, the routine, and our own emotional, the patience and kind of the mindset that we put around this issue. What also I want to kind of emphasize is that toilet independence is a natural milestone. We all go through it. Your children will not be in diapers forever. And unless, of course, there is, some medical issue and such. But for the most part, they will go through this sequence naturally, just like everything else, just like how they learned how to walk and everything. So be patient and know that this is just another stage through their development, a stage that they want to be empowered for. So what does that environment that I mentioned look like? It's really first and foremost having kind of what I call an open door policy, so that there is an awareness around where people go to the bathroom, what is going on, what do we do, so that it's not taboo, so it's not dirty, so that it's not something that, we hide or whatever. It's really about an awareness, right? So, and children will also, you will see kind of their behavior where they're really interested in the toilet or they're pulling on their diapers or things. They are becoming aware. So it's important to give the proper language. And this starts from the very, very beginning when we are changing their diapers, when we're getting them dressed, to give them the proper language around elimination, around their body parts. There is no shame in any of it. Try as much as possible to be mindful of the language that you are using around, strong smelling bowel movements, for example. Ooh, it stinks and all this can be sometimes like, I shouldn't poop, it stinks or whatever. So be mindful, around the language that you're using around that as well. Of course, you don't need to exaggerate it either. It's, no sweet smelling or all of that, but it's just natural, right? We all have the need to eliminate. And this is important for children to know that this is just a natural process. So that being said, I do not believe at all in rewards around toileting. There is no need. This is a natural occurrence. We don't give stickers to our children when they start walking or crawling or anything like that. So no need to get into this, rewards game with them around the toileting either. So to go back to the environment that we want to set up. So again, open door, natural, the language and everything. When they are showing really specific signs of, I am done with this diaper, show me something different, there I invite you to start changing your child standing in the bathroom. So this is really going to give them that awareness of where elimination happens. It happens in the bathroom. So we're going to be changing them in the bathroom. And if the lying down is not something that they want to do anymore, then have something for them to hold on, whether it's on the side of the bathtub, whether you want to lower a towel rack for them to hold on, but it's going to start happening in the bathroom. And this can be a little tricky, so it's going to take some getting used to on your part. But if you, prepare yourself, you have everything that you need at arm's reach. It's really no different. It's getting used to them, changing standing. And there we can also start inviting them to just sit on the potty. To sit on the potty. I like to start with a potty that is on the floor, just because it makes it easier for them. It's closer to their level. Their feet are firmly on the ground and such. If space does not permit, that is fine. Also, just make sure to have something for them to have their feet kind of have that stability, as opposed to kind of, balancing and their feet dangling off the big toilet. So that would be, one thing around that environment. And so there, you're simply going to start at one time of the day, making it part of the routine of going and sitting on that potty. So whether it is when you wake up from nap, whether it is when you wake up first thing in the morning, just make it part of a natural routine, just like brushing our teeth or washing our hands. It just becomes part of the routine. So, no stress or anything. It just is an environment and a routine that we are setting up. So that environment again is just the potty. And then what I like to have is a pail, so that when they get older and they have soiled their underwear, they can put it in the pail for us to wash it later. And then a few clean cotton underwear. Because as they get older, and especially when they start walking and they have shown interest, at home, I would really, really encourage you to forego the diapers during the day and to start using cotton training underpants. This is going to give your child a better connection of the mind-body connection. Because oftentimes, if you are using disposable diapers, the child is not getting that message about what's going on, because they are having a sensation that they need to eliminate. They eliminate, and then these modern day diapers just soak it all up and you don't feel wet. So that is the purpose of the cotton training underpants, is that they are going to feel the humidity. It's not going to be very pleasant. They're going to want to change. So there's going to be that mind-body connection and that awareness, right, of what is going on. So if you are comfortable with, having them run around butt naked, that is great. And if the weather permits, that is wonderful. Otherwise, cotton underwear is really the best way for them to have that connection. And that would be really how we can start implementing that at home. For me, it's really, there's plenty of different advice out there, and there's plenty of different techniques and trainings and all of this. But for me, as what I'm sharing is kind of the natural process of how we can just really guide them on that road of independence. And so, start changing, standing in the bathroom, invite them to sit on the potty. Don't expect, anything right away, but at least is just part of the routine and such. Have an open door policy so that they see you using the toilet. And, the boy versus the girl thing, for me, there's really no big difference other than I asked dads if they could please sit when they're urinating, at least for a few weeks, so that the little boys see you sitting, so they don't try to urinate standing. That can get a little messy at the beginning. They will get there eventually, but let's take one step at a time. So that for me would be the only difference. There are some people that say, little girls tend to be independent quicker. I haven't really seen that big of a difference, at least not in my two children, having a girl and a boy. They were both toilet independent daytime by the age of 2. So I started probably around 19 months or 20 months. When they showed interest, and exactly what I just told you, open door policy, it would be like, let's go to the bathroom. So that's also something important, is the language that you use around it. At the beginning, you're not really asking, like, would you like to go to the bathroom? Because I think you and I know that when children are involved in activities, doing something, they don't want to be bothered and such. So it's more about, it's time to go to the bathroom, so that, again, it's part of that routine, and you just are aware also what time of days they tend to urinate and what time of days they're having a bowel movement, which is also why we use the cotton underwear, because then we're able to notice these things a lot better. So there you just, when those times, maybe, 2 minutes before, you just say it's time for us to go to the bathroom. If you're up to it, you can sit on the toilet too. You're both there, you pee, you wash your hands, and off you go. So natural, right? It's a natural milestone that we all go through. And so that's really, it's really keeping it simple, right? It's about the environment that we're going to set up for them to be successful. It's about showing them what the routine is. And the routine is, to sit down, to wipe, to wash our hands, washing our hands. So that's also another part of that environment. We need to have access to water, because washing our hands is part of the routine. Very important there. And so that's really the basis of it, is really that environment that we're going to set up and the routine that we are going to create around it, and just chilling about it, taking it easy. There's no stress, right? It's just going to happen naturally. I feel children are ready as soon as, they're walking well. They can take off, we can show them how to take off their underwear. And that's also another reason why I recommend just cotton underwear at home. There's not, many clothes to take off. Also, when you are in this stage, be very mindful of the clothing that you're putting on, that there's not, buckles and suspenders and things to take off, that it's easy to remove the clothes. And the other thing that I would mention also is, I often get asked, well, what if we are going out and such, what do I do? Here, when we are in the throes of the guiding them to be independent, it's really important that wherever you go check out where the bathroom is. go find where the bathroom is at your friend's house, at the park, at the zoo, at the restaurant. Like, let's go. I'm interested to know where the bathroom is, just in case we need to go, so that there's that reassurance. We know where it is. It's going to reassure us because we're going to know if our child needs to go, we know exactly where to go. And it's going to reassure the child to know that they know where it is, right? So that's really also very important. So, and then I have some questions. Some questions have come in here. Good morning. My son is 3 and doing very well with number 1, but keeps holding his number 2. He will stand in the bathroom and go in his bottoms rather than sitting. Any advice on making him more comfortable sitting for number 2? That's kind of a tough one. I would really be, helping him find a position, squatting, standing. That's kind of a difficult one because we can't really stand and poop. I would use storytelling books. There's some wonderful books. I think Everyone Poops, and it kind of shows how animals poop, how humans poop, and things like that. So that there's this understanding. And this it's just a new habit, right? He's had a diaper on, he's been pooping standing, you can sometimes really see when a child is having a bowel movement. And so that's kind of how they've been used to it. So I would definitely, not wear diapers, during the day. Just really go to cotton, during the day once you decide that you're going to really take them down this road of toilet independence. And then helping them as much as possible that, the poop in the underwear, let's put it in the toilet and let's try to poop on the toilet. So whether it's using the little potty or using the big toilet like mommy and daddy, but again, if there is some stability for their feet, that's usually a lot helpful. So yes. So I had some other questions too. I took some notes on some emails that I received. So thank you for those. So the one was training versus learning. So I think I touched that on where, we're not training circus animals. We're just guiding our children on this very important milestone of independence. You're welcome, Michelle. I hope that was helpful. But yes, these are, habits to be changed. So making sure that he sees how other people do it, and books will definitely help. The question also came up of whether the little potties or versus the adult toilet. This is going to be something to do with space also, whether you have space in the bathroom. The ideal would be that, from the beginning, all of the self-care has been happening in the bathroom, but depending on where you live, bathrooms can be pretty small. And so your space is limited. So the potty, and I recommend the Baby Bjorn, which is a really nice one. It has a nice back to it and everything. No need to have, all the bells and whistles on a potty. This is just simple elimination. I have seen some pretty crazy things out there. They're just, we're just sitting, right? So yes, so the potty versus the toilet, the adult toilet would be space. It's also going to be a child's preference, but again, something stable for their feet, would be important. The other one was a question about, a child that is holding their pee and only peeing during when they're having a diaper on for nap time or nighttime, and they are pooping on the potty. So here again, I think it's going to be that habit. I might, try to not put on a diaper during nap time. So it might be a little messy a few times, but at least they will get that, mind-body connection. and it's not very pleasant, and it's a process, so that we just learn to eliminate before going to nap time. At least I would just try with the nap and not yet with the nighttime. And so that's another good question, actually, is I focus on daytime independence first, so that, we are awake and we're able to go through the process. And if there is a miss, it's no big deal. We clean it up, and it's just another opportunity to learn, right? Nighttime for me will happen by itself. So this will, when we are set during the day, we are mindful as the amount of liquid intake they have that hour before going to bed. And then what happens is that there's going to be 3-4 mornings where they're going to wake up and there's going to be a dry diaper. So there is the perfect opportunity to say, oh my gosh, we don't need to be wearing these anymore. It's completely dry. And we just, start going to bed, being mindful to make sure to have a toilet routine before going to bed. And then it will happen. There will be misses. There will be, middle of the nights where bed sheets need to be changed, and that happens, and that's part of the process, and it's no big deal. We all went through it. Our parents had to deal with us doing the same thing. So again, it is just a journey that we're taking them on. The other question was a 19-month-old that they've bought a Potty, a baby Bjorn, so perfect, and how to introduce it. So I think I've covered all of that at the beginning about just really making it part of the routine and inviting them to sit at the beginning, just, once a day, same time. There was another question about 3-year-old twins that are embarrassed about, accidents or misses, and they are in plastic diapers. So that I don't really understand. One thing for me that is really important is that when we start the process, we really need to follow through and be consistent. So when we introduce the cotton underwear, get rid of those diapers during the day. Like, there is no going back. That it's really important to give the child a new habit, a new way of doing things. And that, the diapers, we will keep them for nighttime, but we just don't have any more. There's no more diapers for the day. It's really about the cotton underwear. So, so I'm not sure about what the plastic diaper is, but I would just get rid of them so that they can be more successful, especially at 3. By then, they should be able to understand everything that's going on. And one thing to keep in mind too, I feel that when we don't respect early on the child's desire to become independent, later on, if we wait too long, it can become kind of a power struggle. So be really mindful of that, of not getting into that, the whole thing about the rewards and getting upset and all this, because then it does become a power struggle. So, again, for me, it's about taking them on that road as early on when they are showing interest, because just like everything, that I talk about in Montessori, is when there is that window of opportunity, when they're showing interest, go for it, because it's they're initiating it, and this is the opportune time for them to be interested in being successful. And then, like I mentioned, I will put the link also of my handout called Toilet Independence Guide below after this. Oh, I did have another question about how do you do the whole toilet independence and toilet learning when your child is in school. So here, what is really important is that to understand kind of how Montessori schools do it. So I'm Montessori trained, so I'm going to be specific about the Montessori schools. They do it exactly how I just shared with you. If your child is in a toddler community, they, after a time of adaptation, that they are feeling well in the classroom and everything, they will ask parents to bring to the school some cotton underwear. And if it's done well, there is good communication between what is going on at school and at home, and you both do it kind of at the same time. What is really important when you start the whole process, make sure that everybody, all of the caregivers, so if your child, stays with your parents during the day when you go off to work, if there's a nanny that comes in, if they go off to school, or if there's a babysitter, make sure that everybody is on the same page, that you've kind of explained, that everybody is using the same language, right? Because there is no shaming or, there's nothing disgusting about it. It's really about helping the child get through this, this very important milestone. So making sure that everybody is on the same page, using the same language, the same routines, preferably the same times of days and all of that. So that's really important. So when the school is going to be ready to, ask you to send cotton underwear to school, make sure to talk to them to know what is expected of you at home as well. Don't take initiatives on your own beforehand, or if you already have, make sure to communicate with the school what is already being done at home, right? So that we're both on the same page. We want to make this as fluid, excuse the play on word, but as easy for the child to be able to be understood in all the different environments. And I think that was it on the questions. And for those of you watching on the replay, let me know that you're watching this on the replay. Let me know where you're watching this from, and make sure to post your questions. I'll be back and answer some of those as well. So what else? Thank you for Berenice and Michelle for being here. It's been good to have you here. And I will be back next week with another Montessori Q&A, and I will be talking about setting up our Montessori nurseries from the start. So if you have any friends that are expecting, if you are expecting, send them this way. I will be back at the same time next Wednesday to talk more about the Montessori nursery and how we can really support and nurture our children from the very, very beginning. So I have a little question here that just came in. I have a 17-month-old son, shows awareness of number 1 when I have him in cloth diapers. He is hesitant to sit on the potty. What can I help him to comprehend? So, same question as Michelle, is really about, what I say about kind of the open door policy, making sure dad is sitting, mom is sitting, that he sees there are wonderful books, where we see children sitting, and let him just explore the potty first. Don't wait until it's critical time. Let them try it out. Sit on it when they don't have any clothes on and things like that, so that they just get used to it. Again, it's, helping them have a new habit. And if the, small potty is not something they like, some children don't like it. They want to go right on the big toilet. Again, just making sure that they have something for their feet to be stable. So hope that was helpful. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for being here live with me. And for those of you watching this on the replay, I am Jeanne Marie Paynel, and I am here to encourage you to be the very best parent you can be. Leave me any comments or questions below, and watch out for that toilet independence guide that I will be posting below in just a bit. Alrighty, bye-bye for now. Thank you so much.